Kravitz. If you have not followed his Triple H horse racing podcast, you're missing out. It's one of the best podcasts in the country.
Adelphi Racing Club, offering a truly personal thoroughbred ownership experience.
You'll have a lot of fun and excitement, and you'll meet some great people. All the folks I've met so far at Adelphi have just been super, and I've picked up some new friendships along the way.
We're not just a syndicate, and our members aren't just investors. We are partners. Contact us online to get a taste of the Adelphi difference.
Good morning and welcome to Saratoga Today. I'm your host, Howard Kravitz, with a late arriving Paul Halloran just coming into the screen. Sorry, Paul, did a little different with our advertising. Welcome, everyone, to Saratoga Today for a beautiful day in Saratoga Springs. No rain forecasted for July 22nd. Please make sure you subscribe on the bottom right-hand side of the screen. After you do that, hit that notification bell so that you know new content will arise, and smash, and I mean smash, that like button that will send the YouTube algorithm, the robot, to this channel. Of course, you can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Anchor, and you can follow me on Twitter at @HKravitz and Paul at PKHComHorsey. Do you have to put the horsey icon in there, Paul, for Twitter?
Totally optional. If you can figure out how to do it, we'll see if it works, but it's optional.
All right, look below the video players on the scroll. We've got my email, also hkravitzhorse@gmail.com. We got Saratoga Today happening tomorrow, of course, Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Also, we've got regular power picks below the video player. Just sent those out, where we covered Del Mar and Monmouth today for the Haskell. We have our brand new Saratoga only power picks. Look below the video player. Those are available on our website. So for the Saratoga only picks, you need to go to our website, hhhracingpodcast.com. There's the promo for that right there. Paul, we got 2 stake races at Saratoga. We're only going to talk about one today. The Caress is outside of the pick 5, and frankly, it's only a 5-horse field, and I just have no desire to talk about it. I'd rather talk about the Coaching Club America Oaks, which of course is a grade 1, although that's just got a little smaller with that field as well, Paul, as we just found out about 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, Hoosier Philly, a scratch this morning announced by Tom Amos on Twitter. Hoosier Philly was kind of a horse rounding back in a form. Tom called her maybe the best horse he ever trained after her first few wins. Did not run well at fairgrounds at all. Gave up the lead pretty easily in the Black Eyed Susan, but came back with a big win at Ellis and the Monomoy Girl, although that was a real speed favoring track. It changes the complexion of this race because she was going to be certainly, I would say, I was going to say on or near the lead, unless they really send Southlawn from the rail. Southlawn could be a little more dangerous now, by the way. Horse that I played all over the place in the Oaks. I'm sure she'll get me today.
We got some people. Eric Harris, good morning. First time catching a live show. All right.
Come on, Eric. What took you so long? We've been here for 2.5 years.
What the heck? We haven't seen Derek in a while. Derek, thanks for joining the chat. Michael Austin's got usual strong takes. Demolish the like button like search results will today at Monmouth. Perhaps, you know how much love I have for that horse? I'm playing against her today, but she'll probably stuff me in a locker. And speaking of Saratoga Today show, tomorrow morning, Patrick Hunzel on the bottom of the screen will be co-hosting with Kyle Roscoe tomorrow morning, Sunday. Saratoga Saturday is nothing better. I agree, Patrick. Look forward to seeing you perhaps next weekend, I think, Patrick, actually. So that's wonderful. Let's see. Derek also loves the hat. Where is that? Derek loves the hat. Just got mine in the mail yesterday.
Anyone
Paul,
can get one.
Paul, I'm looking forward to getting hooked up with one, but we'll talk about that right now, actually. So Christine Race is here also. Paul, let's bring up, speaking of the Saratoga special, let's bring this up real quick. I know you have a quick promo that you'd like to talk about with the viewers and listeners out there.
Yes, and you could have this hat. You join the Saratoga Special Readers Club. You get the Saratoga Special emailed to you. You get a hat in the mail, or you can. I think you can pick between a hat and other stuff. There you go. You can pick two things. Apparently, who knew? There's a weekly they are doing a dedicated podcast now starting last week that is open to their Readers Club people only. So a lot of value. And, I'm biased, Howard. I am not an unbiased observer because I write for them, but find me another racing publication in the world today that is 44 pages dedicated to racing at one racetrack.
With apparently some little shout out for the HHH Racing Podcast through some spot ads, correct?
The HHH Podcast is represented today. Hopefully that'll draw a little more traffic to us. I have to think it will, based on their readership is huge. From being around, it's printed on Wednesdays and Saturdays, and it's hard to go anywhere in Saratoga without having access to a free copy. So we encourage people to read it. If you're so inclined to join the Readers Club,
and how do they do that again, Paul? I don't know if they can see the website at the top.
Yeah, it's thisisHorseRacing.com.
This is
horseracing.com, and there's a link for the Readers Club. That's for the year. There is content. The website runs 365. The newspaper prints twice a week during the meet. The website runs year round. There's content year round. I can attest to that because I provide some of it. So looking forward to getting up there and being with the boys and girls in about 10 days.
All right. Very good. As my phone is blowing up, we got don't people know I got a podcast going right now? We haven't established that yet. Come on, Matt Miller and all my BC crew. Just kidding, guys. Love you. There's major contest play going on Monmouth today, so there's the phone is a buzzing. All right, let's get to it, Paul. We're going to, as I'm on my phone, also getting to something else I wanted to talk about here real quick. Race 7, Paul's kicks off. It's on the bottom of the screen. Race 7 today will kick off the late pick 5 at the Spa. I miss Tom Durkin saying that in the morning there. It's a maiden special. Now, Paul, we're going to see. Let's put us on screen for a second. One thing that the Spa is known for is their baby races. And this is one of those baby races, Paul, that looks absolutely loaded. In fact, I did some math, Paul, because, I'm pretty good at math. Over $3 million in sales money with these horses. So we have a lot of very expensive babies here. And unfortunately for the people at home, we have some opinions, especially based on the DRF Clocker report as well, that we're going to talk about. But here's the field. As of right now, scratches are not in. I'll be checking Andy Serling's Twitter. And again, those of you out there, if you get scratches, please go ahead and put them in the chat. We'd love to get that in real time. We push back this show an extra half an hour for that sole reason. So when scratches come in, ladies and gentlemen, please let us know. We do not have scratches as of this very moment. Here's the field. There's a few also eligibles. Also, we're both going with the 5, Valentine Candy, Asmussen and Santana. Let's go ahead and talk about this horse, Paul, and I'll give some clock report information as well as we go along here.
Yeah, I like this horse. As I was going to say, a lot, as much as you can like a horse a lot in a race with this many first timers. The Dam won on debut. These are the connections of Matoli, the Hudibrots of Texas. This looks like a serious horse. Santana back on a frontline Asmussen horse, which is they've had a lot of success in the past. Had a little bit of a falling out, and Ricardo's getting mounts again over the last year. I think the 6 is going to take money, Howard. Anointed. He is a Pletcher horse. You're going to talk about Clocker reports. One of the things I gleaned from the Clocker report was that this horse worked with a horse of Pletcher's named Sister Maha, who was a big favorite on Thursday, who I really didn't like, to be honest with you, and really did not run well at all. So for whatever that's worth, that this is the horse that was working with Sister Maha, who I thought ran for a first-time Pletcher pretty poorly on Thursday. But, yeah, I thought there's a lot to like about the 5. I think the morning line tells you, David's morning line tells you that it is to a degree wide open with a favorite 3-1. Oftentimes in these races, you'll have a Pletcher at 9-5 or a Chad at 9-5 or Asmussen. So it should be a good betting race. And the advantage of it being the first race in the sequence, Howard, is
Get to see the board.
you get to see the board.
Valentine Candy got a B+ morning workout. That is very good for a 2-year-old first-time starter. I mean, B+ you only see usually with allowance and stake horses. And I'm not going to read the whole thing out of respect to DRF. I don't, there's propriety issues here, but
Sure.
Plenty of speed on display from the gate. Boom. That's all I need to hear, Paul. So this horse is fast. Out of a dam, Tastes Like Candy, who this is her first baby to run. So it's going to be interesting to see. Anointed, as you mentioned, has gotten some B as in boy workout reports and probably has some talent as well. Dive Bomber has been getting very good workout reports at number 7. This is a horse to look out for as well as I scroll down. Sorry, everyone. Another B+ workout report for Dive Bomber. Plenty of run evident with Dive Bomber. So my guess, based on workout reports and gut feel, is 5, 6, 7 are probably going to be the most well-fancied horses there. Don't forget about the 3 also, by the way. A general partner for Chad and Klarovich, Spicetown Boy out of Distorted Humor, Mare. Chad not nearly as good with his dirt firsters, obviously, but this one can run also probably. This is just a loaded field, Paul. Watch the board. The break will be huge. They are going 6, so it's not like you have to break perfectly.
Yeah, you got another Pletcher on the outside, the protective, a Medaglia d'Oro, $250,000 purchase. You mentioned the Chad, the 3, another $250,000 purchase. There's a Vino Rosso in here. There's a Good Magic in here who's 15-1 morning line. The Good Magics have been running off the screen.
Off the screen.
Hello, Mage. So it's this is look at. You're going to get some small fields like today. You're going to get some off the turf stuff. I get it. But this is why Saratoga, let's face it, is the premier race meeting, because you're getting 2-year-old races like this. Okay, folks. So all due respect to all the rest of them. Keeneland certainly gets their share running in their 2-3 week meets. But this is a horse that you are going to expect to see a few horses come out of and end up in stakes company, I think.
I would believe so. You got some hopeful candidates here. Steve Grutner. Steve, I don't recall seeing you in the chat. Welcome, Steve. Good morning, everyone. Is Jose riding today after yesterday's spill? No, he has the day off today. He is not riding. I'm assuming Paul he'll ride Wednesday. I think he'll be fine. These guys don't want to miss a lot of days for Saratoga. And just to piggyback off your thought, I got to give a shout out to Del Mar. We covered Del Mar on the show Wednesday night with the Bettin Boozin guys for their opening day. And of course, we covered it on our power picks. Del Mar's fields and cards this weekend have been absolutely unbelievable. I don't know if they can sustain it, Paul, but they have a lot of horse flesh out there. And I love Saratoga, but I got to say, this weekend's winner with the cards go to Del Mar, because the racing yesterday and this whole weekend is unbelievable, Del Mar.
Yeah, well, they've been very aggressive. They have the ship and win program. They really incentivize people to ship in there. You got to have the horse, obviously. Right. But hey, look, if I love Saratoga. That's been well documented. But to just spend an afternoon at the racetrack in an unbelievable setting,
yes,
there might be equals to Del Mar. There's no greater, than to have the Pacific Ocean a quarter of a mile away on a Friday afternoon with a bucket of beer on your table. There's really no better experience than that.
And for you single guys out there, there's some eye candy. There's some eye candy from what I understand out there as well. So yeah.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Phil Conti, who is this, Paul? Pete Weisco?
He's swimming with the fishes, Phil.
Who is that? Oh, our co-host. He's on vacation, Phil.
He's swimming with the fishes.
He'll be back.
Hopefully he comes back.
All right, yeah, hopefully. Let's move on here, Paul. Next race 8. We got to move this along here a little bit. Allowance optional 62.5, mile 16th on the turf. A very big morning line favorite coupling of I'm Very Busy and Grand Geomar Step, an Irish bred. Both Chad, one's Pratt, one's Irad. Do we really need to talk about more? This coupling's going to be very tough to beat.
Yeah, it's almost one of those default, Howard. We talk about it all the time. I think we're all inclined to try to beat the favorite, but in this case, you have to beat two of them, which ostensibly, Howard, you're the math guy, but makes it twice as hard.
It does.
I think the two's a little interesting.
I do too.
The two is by American Pharaoh and is a half to 3 horses who have won on turf already. The American Pharaohs obviously run tremendously on turf, coming off a huge effort on the synthetic at Presque Isle Downs, and the synthetic form typically translates well to turf. Broke in on closing weekend last year at Saratoga. Took a little money, not much. Showed some speed, and then was put on the shelf. Transferred from Ward to Maury. Maury's off to an unbelievable start. 2 wins and a third and 4 starts at Saratoga. So he's the 2 is clearly a backup type for me. I thought the 8 was a tad interesting. Mott's horse, who I don't know if he moved too early last time, or perhaps the 1 1/8 was just a little too long and he'll go to 1 1/16 today. But those are the 3 I'm looking at. I think the 1 is the clear A, though.
Well, let's talk. And I just want to let everyone know, and I apologize. And Kyle Roscoe confirmed this. I don't know if anyone at home. I'm having major issues with DRF this weekend. Like, they're very slow. There's delays with the PPs. Maybe it's just, I don't think it's my computer. I don't know. But if anyone's been having issues with DRF for the first time, like in forever, let me know, because I'm very curious. My computer seems to be working fine, but the DRF past performances are just working very slow, so I apologize. Anyway, I'm very busy as coming off the layoff. Had a really nice year last year. Finished second to Major Dude. Was only 3 lengths off of Victoria Road in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. He can absolutely win. I am very interested to see what this Grand Geomar Step does. Was 2 for 3 in France last year. I have a feeling this horse could be very good. It is an outside post, and also it gets a full makeover, which actually I don't take that necessarily as a positive, to be honest. Gell did Lasix, blinkers. Chad's trying to figure this one out. Do you know who this horse has been working with lately, Paul?
I do not. Obviously didn't read that closely enough.
You don't have you can't read it. You have to go and do XBTV and really deep dive.
Oh, well, yeah.
But guess who did that, Paul? I did that. He has been working with Adhamo, a very nice stake horse for Chad. So if this horse is working with Adhamo and working with him evenly, I think this 1A could be the real goods. And I'm interested in this 2 also. Maybe wire to wire. I would like to see the 2 be aggressive with Dylan Davis. Again, you mentioned all the good things. Billet works. I'm going 1-2 mainly only in this race. If someone else wins, I lose. Let's go to race 9, Paul. Race 9, which you see our picks at the bottom of the screen. Race 9 is the Coaching Club America. We touched on this race already. Big scratch. And I'm disappointed for a lot of reasons. Big scratch of the number 5, Hoosier Philly. They're going 1 1/8. It's a grade 1, 500,000. This is a win and you're in, isn't it, for the Breeders' Cup Distaff? I think it is. I'm not sure.
I think it is.
Hoosier Philly got a little ouchy. Not running. I was really looking forward to betting against Hoosier Philly. And we've talked about this many times, Paul. Every race tells its own story. I loved Hoosier Philly last time at Ellis with Lone Speed, and she just caroused. I know Ellis is speed favorite, but wow. She was under a hammerlock, Paul. You remember that race well. But I was against her with other speed in here. And just, I wanted to see it again. I'm still not really a believer. She's not playing today. You're going with wet paint. This is going to be a dry surface. There is 1 1/8, so she gets extra room to run. I thought she closed well last time. Is there enough speed to set it up for her, or is she just classy enough?
Well, that's a good question, Howard. I think she is classy enough. I can tell you, the Godolphin people were very, very high on this horse, and she just didn't. The Oaks was kind of an odd race. Pretty Mischievous came from, what was she, 4th? She was in touch with the race. Gambling Girl. We'll talk about Gambling Girl. I think the line looks better than it was. Um, I don't know how pace dependent this horse is. We're going to find out today with Who's Your Filly, and I think I really would have really liked her, but I got to think this is still a 3-year-old. I think this horse is going to wake up someday and throw in a monster, and I think is going to be involved in the female division before the end of the year. I got a feeling today's a coming out party for this horse. This is a serious racehorse. It's a homebred. It's a Godolphin homebred. They went to Blame with their mare Sky Painter. I don't know. We'll find out today. To use your term, Howard, it might be time for the divorce papers after today. But the Oaks run was just no chance coming from that far behind. And last time, you said you loved Who's Your Filly for the reason of she was going to control the race, and you couldn't close at Ellis at all.
No.
And this horse did close. She closed from fifth, closed from last. Now, do I want to see her last today? Well, no, but if she's last in a 5-horse field and she's only 5 lengths off, we might be okay. So we'll find out today. But I like this filly. I like her a little less with the 5 out, but I still like her a lot.
Paul, we got the comment section is blowing up in our chat because scratches are in, and so we'll talk about it. The 6 was out of race. The previous race, the 6 horse is out, but we didn't even talk about the 6. We obviously know about. I'll mention the scratches coming up when we talk about the last 2. Paul, I have no desire, and I mean no desire, to bet Wet Paint and even money. Wet Paint's gonna be a big favorite here, and I gotta tell you, I don't trust this horse as far as I can throw her, and I can't throw her very far with my back. And plus, she weighs 1,000 pounds. But seriously, this horse is the likely winner. But I can't bet this horse to win. I mean, I'm going to use her in the pick 5, obviously. I'm going to go with Southlawn. I like this horse a lot at Fairgrounds, Paul. I thought she was an up-and-comer. The Oaks obviously did not work out for her. She got a bad trip, and it just didn't work out. But, it doesn't work out for a lot of horses, just like the Derby. I have a ton of respect for Norm Cassie. I think he's a really good trainer. Giroux is on. I'm fine with that. She does have tactical speed, Paul. And so my theory here is that Southlawn's going to get first run on Wet Paint and might be good enough. And I'm going to get a much better price. Southlawn's going to be, 7-2 here. And so, I think Southlawn's interesting if she can get back to those Fairgrounds races. Now, that's a big question mark if she can. The other horse that I have to mention, you got Sacred Wish in here. I'm against Gambling Girl. She usually fires, and it's Todd, and the horse wants distance, but she got a great pace set up in the Oaks. I just don't like her today, and she's going to take a lot of money for Irad and Rapoli. Do not sleep on She's Looking Lucky. This is 10 Strike, okay? We all know 10 Strike here. Friends of the show, Marshall Graham. They have a great operation. This horse is improving, Paul. She's going to be on the lead. Okay, She's Looking Lucky is going. With Carmouche, there's really no other speed to contest her. Would you be shocked if She's Looking Lucky gets 24 and change, 48 and 4, and walks the dog and wins this race at 5-1? I would not. I think she's absolutely live here.
I would be shocked if Florent Giroux allows that to happen. I think Southlawn from the rail absolutely has to go. I mean, the best race of her life by far was the race she ran on the lead. I played her in the Oaks thinking she was going to be toward the front, and here she is 7th. So I could see that scenario, Howard, but I think it would be a big mistake for the connections of Southlawn to allow that to happen.
Well, I agree with you to some extent, but can't Drew just sit right off of She's Looking Lucky? I mean, that'd be fine too, right?
Well, she can, but if they're going to go, 24-2 and 48-4, like you said, that means She's Looking Lucky is going to have some petrol left in the tank when they turn for home.
Fair enough, but I think Southlawn's a better animal, in my opinion, at least as far as now. Anyway, I have no interest in betting Wet Paint. This is almost an all-button race horizontally to me. I almost never do that, but I think almost anyone other than the 3 can win this race, Paul. Let's go on to race.
I'm with you. I just want to say, Howard, I think the 4 is going to be way over bet. in this race.
Totally
It was an
agree with you.
eye-catching move last time. It was into a good pace, and there were a lot of horses in the Oaks that just did not show up and run their race. The 4 did, to her credit, but having seen that race live and looking at the PPs, I don't think that race is. I don't think that performance is quite as good as it looks on paper, and especially with the scratch here, this horse could be under 2-1, and I think I'm against. I think should probably be involved somewhere, but I don't really want any part of her on the win end.
And Charles B says Weaver's got Sacred Wish cranked. I don't listen. I don't. Maybe he knows George. I don't know. Aren't they all cranked for a grade 1 to Saratoga, Paul? I mean, I don't know. Anyway, the comment, the live chat, guys, is awesome. Please continue to put comments. You guys obviously have a great chance to talk to each other, etc. Matthew Chimura said that not happening, South Lawn is sending for position. I agree, but I think the 6 with Carmouche is really going to send. I think we'll see.
That's good.
Hopefully, I don't want them to
You're
hook
talking
up.
wet paint into the winner's circle.
Well, right. If they hook up, then we just put wet paint. Exactly. All right, let's go to race 10, Paul. The picks are on the bottom of the screen. We do have scratches in now, by the way.
Ooh,
now the scratch
look who's trying to be clever, Howard, in this race.
Yeah, look at that. Look at the little sneaky. But we got a problem, Paul. The 7's out.
Oh, you're kidding.
According to what people are saying in the chat, it's 2, 3, 4, 7 are apparently out of this race. So our little cutesy pick is apparently out. Paul's checking. He doesn't believe it. That upsets him.
I believe it, but
yeah, I agree. 6 furlongs on the dirt. A nice allowance race here. It's a field of 9 with a very talented horse off a layoff, the number 8, Accretive, or I think it's Accretive for Brown and Ortiz that we are trying to beat. Again, according to people in the chat, the scratches are Talkin' Pharaoh, What's Up, Bro, Victorious Wave, and Hoo, that's me, the New York bred for Abreu, who we liked to come over the top and win with all the speed. That horse is not playing today, apparently, Paul. So the picks on the screen are obviously going to change. I set this show up obviously before the picks that just came in. Let's go to the 8 first, Paul, because this horse is going to be the favorite. I don't have a lot of intel. I can look at the workout report as we're talking. This is a very, very talented horse for Chad by Practical Joke out of a Street Sense mare that in his second lifetime start almost won the damn Amsterdam last year, almost beating Gunite, and then faced Jack Christopher in the Jerkins. Where has he been, though? That's my main question.
Yeah, as you said, Howard, to go to a grade 2 in career start number 2 and calmly run a triple-digit buyer, by the way. I will give you some stats. We have to carry the ball for Pete here. Chad Brown off a 180 to 360 day layoff in dirt sprints is 25% on the win end. However, at Saratoga in that category, 180 to 360 dirt sprints, it drops to 14% for whatever that's worth. But, typically Chad is a guy that you don't let the layoff bother you a whole lot. I will say if you're going to be against a horse coming off a long layoff, I'm more inclined to be against him in a sprint than a route because, if the horse is just not sharp, obviously there's less time to make up for it. But, we were both trying to get clever. I thought the 7 could get a trip. We could talk about why we like the 7, but the 7's not in the race.
No.
I think the 8's really tough. I would think the best shot to beat the 8 now is the 6. The 6 is the hot horse. Since going, Rudy Rodriguez claimed this horse 3 races back. How'd you like to claim a horse out of a race he wins by 19? Not pretty good claim, right?
I would say
claimed
so.
him for 35. Went right to the state bred allowance ranks. This is a really good claim for 35, knowing you could run him back in state bred races. Wins the allowance easily. Then they put him in an optional claimer where he's obviously not available to be claimed for 45 and wins that easily. So this is the horse with a lot of momentum. Trevor McCarthy looking for a win. Trevor missed the first few days on suspension. Very capable jockey, and it looks like Howard, this horse is going to be very involved right from the get-go.
Let me give some people some information on some workout report here. Again, I'm not going to read it verbatim, but Accreditive has been working with Blazing Sevens. Now, on the surface, Paul, I'd say that's great, but Blazing Sevens was pretty disappointing this week. So take that for what it's worth. He's been getting B and B plus workouts. So, and he's been working with Blazing Sevens. So obviously, Chad thinks very highly of this horse. I'll tell you what, Paul, a la carte has moved up now for sure in my eyes. I like the turf to dirt angle. I would probably go 6, 8, 9 here if I had to redo my picks. I'm going to go 6, 8, 9, everyone. A la carte's been getting B and B plus works. There's not nearly as much speed now, right, Paul? Because the 2 I know is a lot of speed. Do I remember that correctly? Yeah, the 2 is a lot of speed. So let's take a look at this real quick. Though we'll
2 is a ton of speed.
The 2 is a ton of speed, but out.
And the 4 had speed, Howard.
The 3 was not. The 4 was a lot of speed also. The 4 is out. Yeah. So the 2 and the 4 are out. Now the 5 is a lot of speed, but does not class up at all. So to me, Paul, and again, we're doing this on the fly. It looks like to me the 6 is going to sit right off the 5, or at least get the lead. And the 9 is going to sit a great trip from the outside a la carte. Now, I don't know what the 8's going to do, but the 9 is a big move up for me now with these scratches, Paul.
I would agree with that. Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, I don't like the fact the horses' buyers have gone down 4 consecutive races, albeit the last time on the turf. And obviously, I don't know if that was a case of, he's not showing us what we thought on dirt. Let's put him on the turf. But that didn't work out, and they're back to dirt. But, certainly could sit a very good stalking trip from out there, as you point out.
Well, the other thing I think before we go to the last race is the 9 is a 5-year-old, Paul. I do not like a 5-year-old who debuted as a 5-year-old. He's got issues. Obviously, he's a bit ouchy. It's just the upside is not there. He was so damn good in his first 2 races. But now he's regressed twice. I don't know. It looks like this is a 6-8, Paul. To me, in general, I'll use 9 defensively. Let's go to the last race as I go ahead and switch some things on the screen. Guys, thank you very much. We have a huge number of people joining us and watching. Please tell everyone about our Saratoga Today show on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday mornings, 10:30 a.m. Eastern live. The last race is a 25 claimer. They're going 6 furlongs on the dirt. It's a very big field, and this is the spread race to me, Paul. This is the spread race of the sequence along with the first race. So to me, the bookend races are the big spread races for me. It's a field of 12, and the morning line favorite is the coupling, it looks like. Yes, the coupling, the 1 and the 1A for, guess who? Linda Rice, and it will not be Jose Ortiz. I don't have jockey changes as of now. I don't know if she's going to run both of them. Let's see. We got scratches in. Sorry, Paul.
Yeah, the jockey change. The scratches are the 1A.
Yep. 2, 3,
and
12.
The 3 and 12, and I like the 12 a little bit.
Not anymore. 1A, 2, 3, and 12 are out. There's going to be a jockey change on the 1. Catch you soon, or catch you soon. Catch you soon. Wow, I'm an idiot. Okay. Catch you soon. I will not be Jose Ortiz. You see our picks on the bottom of the screen. I don't know if they would change based on pace complexion. I have to do more handicapping. Paul does have the 12 and 3rd, so that's going to change. Paul, you're going with the flat. I'm assuming, did you like Catch You Soon more than Flint Ridge? Because Flint Ridge is out.
I thought that the Linda and the way her horses are running, Howard, I kind of defaulted to the 2-for-1 angle there. Okay. Knowing, obviously, it looked as if 1, though, might scratch because Jose was named on both. Obviously, as good as he is, he can't ride both. I think I would defer to the regular 1, though, just because of the speed. It's a 6 furlong race. I think it is a race that could be won wire to wire. I don't think it's loaded with speed. I mean, there's some horses who could be forward. I had the 12, as you say, in there as someone who was going to close in the race. So I think there's a chance the one wires it, but I do agree with you on the spread angle and try to get as much coverage as you can.
I was looking through very quickly here, Paul, as I'm scrolling through because I want to make sure I feel good about my top pick, and I do. All the scratches are actually closers, which means the speed is still in theory. The 2 was a non-factor who was maybe was going to show some speed, but really was a non-factor. The 3 was a closer. Let's see, and the 12 was a closer, if I recall a little bit. And so there's really no effect on the early speed here. I've got the 1 Catch You Soon second. I'm really interested in the 4 here, Paul. And I might be searching for something, but to me, this is a wide open field. I'm going to go with Just Call Ray. Just Call Ray is trained by a gentleman named Jeff Hiles, who I believe he was more Kentucky based, right? Jeff Hiles. But he sent a string. He has sent a string here to Saratoga, and he won with a horse already called Blue Devil last week. And who was Blue Devil ridden by? Mr. Santana. Santana is riding for Hiles. It's a wide open race. Paul, I love turnbacks. I'm just a sucker for turnbacks. I'm looking for, a fresh face here. I think there is enough speed in the race. Air Show's going to go. Seven Nation Army, I think, is interesting. We both have this horse in the mix, but he's going to take a lot of money. I don't know. I didn't have a strong feel for this race. The 1, St. Selby, obviously is going from the outside. I don't know. Every time I feel like there's enough speed in a race, Paul, it doesn't set up. Just Call Ray. My concern, though, is he's going to be too far back. I don't know if he's a 6 furlong horse. I don't know, Paul. I'm taking a stab with a fresh face here. I think the flat 1 is by far the horse to beat, though, in this race.
Yeah, and I see. I mean, I like the turnbacks going to 7 a little more than 6, but I'm with you there.
I agree.
And this horse is dropping into the claiming ranks. Has been running starter allowance races in Kentucky. Would you say Jeff Hiles? This is the first time he's come to. That was his first race he ever saddled the horse at Saratoga. He won. So I'm assuming he brought a small string here, and he brought the horses that he thought would be successful. He's 1 for 4 so far. And Santana, he's solid. I have no issues with Santana. I do think you better take a look though at St. Selby with Caramouche, because you talked about the relative lack of speed in the race, and no horse that Kendrick rides is ever going to be accused of not showing his speed. So
true, although he's just been awful this year, but maybe he can wake up at Satras. I'll be throwing him in there. This is a spread race to me, Paul. This is definitely a spread race.
Yeah, this is a drop too. I mean, he ran for 25 last time, but was not available. He was not in for the tag. He has not been in for the tag ever in his career. Today is the first time.
If he doesn't break
you can look
top,
at that one or two ways, right?
Paul, if he doesn't break on top, he's not winning. He's lost his last 3 by 52 lengths. So I hear you. I'm going to use him probably defensively as a C, but I mean, the 1 is going, right? I mean, there's other horses that are going to go. So it's hard to clear from the 11 hole, but I suppose it's possible. The fact that he's actually in for the tag is a negative to me. Well, they're all in for the tag. Sorry, it's 25K. So anyway.
9, and it's the 9 hole today.
I think we can go pretty skinny, Paul. We're not. Let's just end the show with a 1-minute ticket construction conversation. We're not putting our tickets up, but for me, I can go pretty skinny here until the last race. Of course, it always never necessarily works out that way. I think the first time starter race, the first opening leg of the pick 5, you got to look at the board, but I think that's a spread. I think it's hard to say someone's going to be like a sure thing there. The turf race to me seems very likely 1 and 2. The 9th race, again, to me, I'm not going very deep. That's the Coaching Club America. Or actually, it's probably an all button or close, but it's a small field. Race 10, it seems very top heavy. Race 11 seems to be the spread race, Paul. in the sequence to me.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Although, if I do think if you're playing caveman, I do think you got to make a stand in the coaching club. You can hit the
Right.
all button, as you say, because there's only
Right.
5. But I think if you were trying to efficiently construct a ticket, you would make a stand in a race like that. Granted, they could all win, but there's only 5 of them, and you're gonna have to be right somewhere along the line.
Well, let's talk about that to end the show. We got 2 minutes here, Paul. ABC ticket construction people out there. If you're constructing ABC ticket, how would you place the horses in the Coaching Club American Oaks, Paul?
I would have the 2 as my lone A. I would have the 1 as a B with the scratch of the 5, and I would probably have the 3 as a C.
I would personally go 1, 2A, and I'd probably go 4, 6B. If the 3 wins, I would just lose. Maybe the 3 is a C, but I would go 1, 2. I think South Lawn's really interesting today. And as a fan of South Lawn, Paul, I do not want to see him embattled with the 6. I want Drew to break, look to the outside. If the 6 sends hard, he can just sit off the 6. I think he's better than the 6. She's better. Oh, there we go. She's better than the 6. Where's my beverage? Here we go. I think she's better than the 6. But maybe she outbreaks, maybe Drew just goes. It's not like he can't send. He wrote a horse called Gun Runner who he was willing to send. So
Drew is a sender.
He is. Paul, it's been a lot of fun. Saratoga Today again tomorrow morning at 10:30 Eastern. We've got our fantastic younger handicappers. We've got Kyle Roscoe hosting with Patrick Kunzel. We'll be on for Saratoga Today, so check that out. The weather's going to be beautiful tomorrow. You do not want to miss the show tomorrow morning, 10:30 Eastern. Paul, any final thoughts for Saratoga? Any tidbits, notes? You're going to be up there when? Pretty soon, as am I.
Yes, so you're going to be there before me, which I don't really like.
I will be up there a week from today. For everyone, I'll be up there from July 29th. That's Saturday until the day after the Whitney, August 6th. I'm not staying for the races on that Sunday, but I will be up in Saratoga with Matt Miller starting July 29th, and then the rest of the gang coming in as the week goes along.
Yeah, well, you'll see my friend, our good friend, Dr. Jeff Mora, is in transit
He's my
today.
friend too now.
He's your friend. He's in transit today. He will be staying in Connecticut tonight just to get closer to Saratoga from his South Florida base. And he will be driving up in the morning. And frankly, Howard, the house that I'm in with him, he has starting tomorrow. So you never know. But at this point, my plans are to be there to go up on Tuesday the 1st and be there for that full racing week. So we'll see.
Terrific. My friend, I am very excited to see you in person once again, and most importantly, see the entire HHH Racing Podcast crew except for Charlie Freeman. But it's going to be an unbelievable week. For my good friend and co-host Paul Halloran, this has been your host Howard Kravitz. It's been Saratoga Today for July 22nd. Crush your bets at Saratoga. Good luck, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.
If you have not followed his Triple H Horse Racing podcast, you're missing out. It's one of the best podcasts in the country.